Hello everyone, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all of you. This is your host Vaibhav. In our today's session of JForex Indicators Explained, we will be considering a pattern recognition named as belt hold. This is a formation which we can utilize to look for the reversal. We can utilize for figuring out the bullish as well as bearish reversal, and in both the conditions, it is given the name accordingly. It is called bullish belt hold. If it is figuring out, or it is giving you an opportunity to go long after the prior trend of the bearishness is coming to an end, and if you are utilizing it for figuring out the bearish opportunities, it is called as bearish belt hold after the prior uptrend seems to be coming to an end. So in both the scenarios, this can be a reliable pattern to look for the opportunities where you can figure out the risk reward ratio in an optimum manner and get the entry so that you can profit if you get the trade right. And even in the eventuality of trade going wrong, you should not be losing too much of your money. So let us now head to the JForex 4. This is the Euro USD chart with the each candle period defined at hourly time frame. Here you can find these belt holds simply by doing a quick search. Type in belt hold and here it comes. Now this is a formation made up of single candle, but there is a requirement that we have to pay attention to the prior candle and then the subsequent candle. So there is a though made up of a single candle, it has to be compared in context of its prior candle. How things had unfolded in the prior candle are also important. Now let me give you an example of the bearish belt hold. For the bearish belt hold, we need the prior candle to have closed higher compared to the closing price of the second candle. It can be a green candle or a red candle, meaning it can have its closing price lower or the greater than the opening price. It doesn't matter, but its real body should not be large enough. And in the subsequent candle, the opening price needs to be significantly higher compared to the closing price of the prior candle, and then it should go on to decline substantially with this large candle body, which should have its closing value quite lower compared to the closing price of the prior candle. So that will mean that the prior uptrend is now coming to an end and we are seeing significant selling pressure being generated, and as a result of that we can be much more confident about short selling the underlying instrument. Here we are seeing multiple instances of these formation taking shape on the chart. I think some of these are bullish belt hold and some of these are bearish belt hold. So this is the bearish belt hold, as we have this candle closing the closing price significantly lower compared to the opening price. And also we have to pay attention to the shadow. It should not have much of a shadow on the upper side. The bearish belt hold should not have much candle shadow on the upper side, and on the lower side it can have shadow, but it should not be too large compared to the real body. Real body needs to be quite large compared to the shadow on the lower side. Now let us look at the example of the bullish belt hold. So here we have the example of the bullish belt hold where the closing price of this candle is significantly higher compared to the opening price. Now by significant I mean we have to consider the prior volatility. In context of this volatility, it is indeed quite good. The length of this candle body is quite good in context of this volatility observed in leading up to this formation. Then we have another condition also in place with this shadow, which is also quite large, the upper shadow, and we have the closing price which is significantly higher compared to the opening price as well as the closing price of the prior candle. So both these conditions are being fulfilled here. But unfortunately, even after this formation takes shape, we don't really see the bullish reversal. The price continues to decline further in the subsequent candle periods. So that underlies the fact that not all the patterns which are recognized are going to be profitable, and we will always have to keep these in mind and figure out other formations, other supporting mechanisms, criterions which we can utilize to filter whether to go for the trade or simply to overlook it. So all the factors will always need to be considered. I think we can also wait for a couple of more candles, and if we don't really see the price dipping below this reversal point, then in that scenario we can go for the trade based on these bullish belt hold. Similar strategy can also be adopted for the bearish belt hold. So if in the subsequent candle periods we don't really see further break below this reversal point, we could have gone for the short sell trade. Now let us look at some more examples. In this case, we have this bearish belt hold, and in this scenario, we don't really see the price rising much higher compared to the reversal point, and eventually it starts to drop below. Now, if you had gone for the short sell trade here, you would have indeed made money. Again, we have this bearish belt hold here, and we have further instance here. It simply went on to consolidate, and if we look at these reversal points, it remained quite high compared to these subsequent candle periods, and then price rose closer to it to again decline in the subsequent candle periods. So in this couple of instances, we are seeing that the opportunities generated by this belt hold pattern are proving to be profitable, and we can also apply the mechanisms to eliminate the trades which we feel are likely to be not much profitable. So if you have any trend defining criterion, you can edit that as well. Even if you have any further setup, you can always utilize this belt hold pattern to optimize your entry and exit points. So you can use it multiple ways, as there is a versatile pattern. You can use it for figuring out the bullish reversal as well as the bearish reversal, and in couple of instances we saw it is proving profitable and sometimes it is not proving profitable. So as is the case with any other formation, not all the time it is going to give us profit. Sometimes it is going to end up in loss. So we have to figure out the ways to minimize the profit. We can't really eliminate the loss making trades. We will always have to keep that in mind. Now, if we look at these further instances, again here, this would have ended up in loss. This would have given you slight profit, not much profit. The here significant amount of profit. Same would have hold true for these two instances. If we look at this bearish reversal, again here short sell trade. So we have these multiple formations. These formation which is going to occur from time to time, so it is not a rare occurrence. You can always go for it, and you will get the opportunities in the market significant amount of time. Now let us see what we can do in terms of its editing. There is nothing we can do for the input, so this has been disabled. Output, we can go for different styling combination, color combination. So if you feel like, you can go for simply other color of your choice. Let's try out white styling. I think it is good enough. Or if you want to go for full shading of the candle, you can do that as well. So here I have opted for the white color and full shading. So that's how this is appearing. Now I am reverting back to bracketing. Transparency factor can also be increased or decreased depending on the preference. So here I have decreased the transparency, increased the transparency. So that has made this formation look less prominent on the chart. Advanced editing option, recalculate on new candle only. So once the new candle comes into play, this formation will take shape. provided it is meeting the criterion of the formation. Highlight the time period zone. You can go in for this. Calculate the calculate from custom data. We can't really customize the input, so this has been disabled. Show indicator on all the candle periods. This is a interesting and important option provided on the chart. If you want to utilize this formation, you can you can have it on the chosen time frames, or you can even go for show indicator on all the periods. In that case, it will be available whenever you are going in for the chart change, candle period change on the chart, or else you can specify on which particular candle period you want it, and only on those candle periods it will appear. Suppose if you opt for 5 minutes and hourly, you will have it. So here it is appearing on the chart, but if I go for 10 minutes or any other candle period, it won't be there. So you can have multiple indicators on different time frames. Now I am opting for show indicator on all the periods. All right. So this is how you can utilize this formation to look for the opportunities, the reversals, possible reversals, and you can then go for the trade while trying to optimize the entry and exit points. And let us also look at one interesting feature which has been added on the platform. There is a hot list. You have to zoom in, zoom out a bit, 100%, it will appear on the chart. So here we have these hot stocks for the day, for the hour, for the week, whichever is your time frame, you can opt for it, and accordingly this list will show you the stocks which have increased or declined substantially for that particular chosen time frame. So for today's session, we are seeing this Pandora AS, Neste OYG gaining more than 10 percentage point, and in decline we have Nokia and Rencat and Kingspan Group declining substantially. If we go for the hourly, we will have the buzzing stocks which are active in current hour, last hour. If we go for 3 months or 1 month, we will have the stocks which have gained substantially over last 3 months or 6 months for that matter. So you can specify on what is your filtering time frame, and accordingly the stocks will be listed. It will keep changing and new stocks will be added. The stocks which gain substantial momentum will be added to the list, and stocks which are losing momentum will be eliminated from the list. So there is a interesting information which you can utilize to search, keep searching for the opportunities. So that's all from my side for